The top 10 moisturizers that work for acne-prone skin. And I, growing up, remember vividly walking into places like CVS and spending all my money on these different moisturizers, not knowing what ingredients to look for. And having gone to the dermatologist, I was using different prescriptions and creams. And I remember I would go home and put these moisturizers on and they would literally burn my skin. And it was so hard to find acne-friendly moisturizers that didn't make my breakouts worse because it felt like everything I put on would clog my pores. Thankfully, my skin now looks like this, and as a medical esthetician, I've used my experience to help others understand their products and also find out which ones are going to work for them. So if you want something thick versus if you want something really gel-like and lightweight, or even if you have adult acne, these are the 10 best moisturizers that won't clog pores. And we have to talk about clogging pores because there's this thing called the Comedogenicity Scale. Sounds scary or sexy, but it's really not. A bunch of researchers basically took rabbit ears and wiped some moisturizers on them. And if the bunny ears got acne, they said, oh, it causes breakouts. And if they didn't get acne, they said, oh, it doesn't clog pores. Now, I'm sorry, does my face look like a bunny ear? But because that test was done on bunny ears, not on human skin, it's not the most reliable. So whenever you hear something that says will or won't clog pores or is not comedogenic, basically acne clogging, you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt or like a block of salt. My nickname as a child was Cassie Moo, so I'm gonna go with the salt lick for myself. I'm gonna go with the large salt lick for me. Anyways, what are the top 10 moisturizers that are least likely to clog pores? We need to speak about them and also how this is different from an acne treatment moisturizer, because this was legit the problem that I had. I was using an acne treatment from the doctor, the derm. I saw over 20 doctors and derms that couldn't clear my skin. And that's when I was like, I'm either going to die by my own doing, or I'm going to figure this out. And thankfully I did. Well, that is a traumatic story for another day. But anyways, acne treatment moisturizers are different than acne safe moisturizers. So these are not going to treat acne, but these aren't going to clog pores. So if you want something gel-like and lightweight or super thick and hydrating, these are less likely to clog pores and you can use them with your acne treatments. If you have dry skin and acne, or even if you have oily skin and acne and you want something lightweight, we're also gonna talk about K-Beauty. Let's start with an original, the Ordinary. This is something that I wish I had when I was 16. This is the Natural Moisturizing Factors plus HA. And this is a great moisturizer. It has ingredients that your skin naturally uses and produces like hyaluronic acid, and it's inexpensive and lightweight. And I am so out of this. As you can see, I've used this all up. This is a nice fluffy texture, but it's not the most moisturizing. So if you have combo skin, you can use this, which also means if you're oily or if you're dry, this is a great choice. Again, it won't treat acne, but it supports a healthy skin barrier. Now, if you want something that is a little bit more cloud-like, a little bit more hydrating, that's when something like this comes in. This was one of the first K-Beauty products I ever tried. It's from PureAm and it's the Authentic Barrier Balm. The story behind this line is amazing. A mom basically was raising her daughter and her daughter said, how am I supposed to feel beautiful when everyone around me is, you know, getting plastic surgery and obsessed with filtering their skin? So she created PureAm, which stands for Pure I Am, to help her daughter love and embrace her skin and to help other young women do the same. And this is the Authentic Barrier Balm. Do you see how nice this is? I love this. And this is something that is a little bit thicker. You do kind of get that moisturization effect, but it doesn't cause a ton of irritation for acne prone skin. And this layers so well with acne treatment products that are really drying. If you're using like a Adapalene gel or a benzoyl peroxide wash, this is so good. The other thing is that it comes in 2 sizes. This large size is really large, fantastic. And then this little mini size is really great for on the go. I actually spoke to the founder and apparently over 80% of people continue to buy this more than once, which means they're not just selling a product and like, you know, people are buying it because it's trendy and they're on to the next thing. People are legit in love with this stuff and they buy it over and over and over again. Some people like multiple dozens of times. And to have an 80% repurchase rate, meaning out of 10 people, 8 of them went and bought more than 1 bottle after they used it up. Absolutely insane. This is fantastic, but it is a little bit thicker. It's a little bit more chunky. What happens if you want a really lightweight K-Beauty option? This water cream is one that I originally found on Stylevana. This is the Rovectin Clean Lotus Water Cream, and this is one that I've purchased multiple times. And you actually get stickers in the jar that you can put on the little thing. So if you're like bummed out about your acne, you're like in the mirror feeling sad, don't pick your face, put stickers on the jar. Obviously, this is like my 5th jar, so it's actually brand new. There you go. too. So I haven't put stickers on this one yet, but let me open it up and show you this texture. This has Lotus water cream, and it is basically a lightweight K-beauty moisturizer. It is hydrating, it is nourishing to the skin, and it does have a high amount of this Lotus water. It's everything you love about K-beauty, but it's safe for those who are blemish prone. This really doesn't clog up the skin. It's especially good if you have blackheads and if you get like oily in the nose area. It's really lightweight, like it barely feels there, whereas this feels more like a blanket or more like a hug. But this, including the stickers, is lovely. Now, if you're super breakout prone and you want something that was like made for acne, this right here is amazing from Face Reality Skincare. So Face Reality is a brand that was actually made by and with professionals and estheticians to help people with acne face reality that acne happens and there's things you can do about it. And they have a lot of good acne treatment products, like their L-Mandelic acid is amazing. But again, this isn't going to treat acne, but you can use this with other products for acne. This right here is their Cran Peptide Cream. Literally, cranberries and peptides. Look at how nice this is. It's a nice moisturizing formula, and this does not cause breakouts, especially because it's created by professionals and estheticians who have acne and like treat acne. It's fantastic that they decided to put the cranberries and the peptides in here for something that truly works. This is wonderful. I was hesitant to recommend it because it can be harder to get. It's not like you can go to Sephora and buy this. I wish you could, but this has lilac, witch hazel, neem, a bunch of plant ingredients that provide antioxidants, but actually support the skin. It's not a gel formula. As you saw, it was kind of like a white lotion, but it does blend into skin really nicely. Now, what if you're an adult and you have acne? First off, that freaking sucks. Second off, it can be even harder to be an adult with acne looking for products that work with, you know, mature skin, but that also don't cause breakouts. This is from Dr. Sam, who is amazing. She's a cosmetic derm from the UK, and she created the Flawless Moisturizer. What's great about her and her story, she had acne, but she also has rosacea. So her products are geared towards those who want the luxurious lifestyle, but without having to pay a luxury price, but they actually have products with science that actually work. This is so good. It's a little ribbony on the skin. Can you see how beautiful that is? And it's got panthenol, which is vitamin B5. This is kind of a medium moisturizer. It's not the thickest, but it's not a gel. But if you have redness in the skin, if you have adult acne, this is one of the best. I just slapped myself. If you don't know who Dr. Sam is, you should definitely subscribe to her, but this is such a good moisturizer. And she has other moisturizers too. This is the Flawless one. She has the Brightly and the Nightly. Those actually have actives that can treat acne, things like azelaic acid, which are great and safe during pregnancy. But this is just the plain one. Again, if you want treatment ones, you can literally search Cassandra Bankson acne and find them. But if you're looking for a moisturizer that just works well and doesn't clog the pores, doesn't break you out, doesn't make the whiteheads explode out of the cheeks, so good for adult acne. And this is actually one that the derms that I work with, specifically one of them, is obsessed with. I am so grateful to work with some of the best doctors and derms in the world. And one doctor specifically sells Elta MD and SkinCeuticals, which I don't like, but she sells Elta MD in clinic. And she absolutely loves this and recommends this all the time. And I've started to use it. I've started to test and try it. I've known about Elta MD sunscreens forever. For a long time, I kind of put my nose up at the things that are sold in clinic because I'm like, are they really that much better? And I was burned again as a child because I would go into the doctor's office and they would like have Neutrogena, you know, and like give you the samples, and then the samples would burn your face and not work for the acne, and it sucked. But I feel like Elta MD really is one that actually works and that strays away from that. It's not one of those things that derms just have on the shelf to try to sell you the way SkinCeuticals I feel is, but they actually work. And this right here is the Skin Recovery Light Moisturizer. It literally says that it helps to repair a damaged skin barrier, and this has an amino acid complex that is really nice on the skin. Again, it's not a gel. It's a little bit thicker, but it kind of blends nicely into skin as if it were a gel. This is just such a lovely formula. It works so nicely, and Elta MD is made by professionals. The befores and afters they've actually done testing this and other products from their line is amazing. This is one of the best, and it is a little bit more pricey, but especially if you have adult acne and you want something that doesn't cause them breakouts, this. Now, what if you want something that is not, you know, kind of this moisturizer texture? You're like, listen,
I'm oily. You're like, Cassandra, my skin is a grease ball. Like, it is greasier than my takeout food.
And thankfully, there are options, specifically two that I love, and I find myself recommending to oily prone peeps all the time. Here's the problem. I lost one. These are the oil reducing products. They have an oil reducing moisturizer that goes in this line, and I don't know where I put it. I lost it. I put it somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but I'm holding these up because these are also part of the same line. You don't need to get all three, but the moisturizer from this is so good because it's basically a mattifying moisturizer that doesn't doesn't feel thick on the skin. It almost feels invisible, but basically throughout the day, as you normally get oily, it kind of soaks up that oil and stops it from appearing on your skin. Really fantastic. This also helps to smooth out. Paula's Choice is also fragrance free, and I think it's like between 30 and 50 bucks. It's really good. You get a big tube. The Paula's Choice Oil Controlling Moisturizer. Mwah, chef's kiss. But what if you wanted something a little less expensive? Boom shakalaka, baby. You also feel this one a little bit more on skin. This is from Community 66. Basically, someone who used to work at the Inky List decided to go off and create their own brand that has some skin supportive actives put together in a blend. And she made this entire brand called Community 66 because it's about sticking to a skincare routine for 66 days, creating a habit and letting your skin cells turn over so that you can have a wonderful, happy, healthy skin barrier. This is the Oil Control Moisturizer for normal to oily skin, and it is so good. This one you can actually feel on the skin a little bit more, like it feels like a moisturizer, but it does give you that oil control. It's so good. I actually did a video where I created like a skincare set for each skin type, and I believe that Community 66 was a staple in that one too, and I just keep coming back to it. Do you see how immediately when I put it on, it kind of mattifies that a little bit? It's absolutely wonderful, and I don't know how they were able to do such a great product at such an inexpensive price, but this is amazing. It's a little bit tacky too, so it works well under makeup, but if you're a teenager, if you're an adult, if you've got oily skin, this and the Paula's Choice, depending on your budget, those are gonna be two of your best bets. But what if you're not an adult and you're a teenager, or you are a tween, or you're shopping for a teenager or a tween who is struggling with their acne and needs a good moisturizer to again work with those other actives? Bubble. Bubble was made for tweens and teens to help them understand their skincare, have a good skincare routine, but also to help with mental health. They literally donate to mental health initiatives. But everyone who was purchasing the products was like, wait a minute, this works really well for me too. Adults love it as well, and anyone can use it. Although I love that they have this focus on educating people, usually teenagers, who don't know as much about skincare and mental health. Bubble does such a great job educating, and they specifically launched this. This is the Cloud Surf Water Cream Moisturizer. If there is a teenager who is oily, struggling with acne, and needs a moisturizer that works with almost any other active, this is it. You know, Bubble also has two moisturizers. One is the Slam Dunk, and what is the other one? The Hydrating Moisturizer. There is like a gel and a really thick one that are also really good, but when they launched this Cloud Surf, oh my god, woo, it's squirting. This is the best. This is like a cream that feels just like a gel. Do you see how lightweight and hydrating that is? It soaks in like a dream. Again, it's artificial fragrance free. You can use this morning or evening. Such a beautiful formula. I'm actually gonna put this on my cheeks. I absolutely love this. I wish that I had this around when I was 16. This has been around for less than a year, but it should have been around since the beginning of time, because this is better than Neutrogena in my opinion, better than all of the Clean and Clear. I love this stuff so much, and it's kind of fun to use. It's fun, okay? Let's not discount the fact that when skincare is fun, it's easier to use. Speaking of fun skincare, again, the Lotus water cream with the stickers. However, there are some other K-beauty options that I don't want to go to the wayside. So these are kind of interesting because they're not acne treatment products, but two of these actually contain tea tree. Tea tree is something that people say can work for acne. We know from medical studies that tea tree has antimicrobial and antifungal and antibacterial benefits. And so a lot of people, like old wives' tales, used to put tea tree on like Q-tips and put it on their pimples. Never, never, ever do that. Do not use undiluted essential oils on your face, your pimples, okay? Just don't do it. That being said, a lot of people have had benefit from using tea tree in certain products. Now, this is not meant to be an acne treatment product. It is a good moisturizer, but it happens to have ingredients like tea tree that can nourish the skin, that can also potentially cause an antimicrobial or antibacterial after effect. And that could inevitably support acne-prone skin if you're using other actives in your routine. There's specifically two that I love. Let's actually start with this one. This is from Iunik. This is the Centella Calming Gel Cream. And the thing about this is that it's also got that Centella. Yeah, this is a brand new one. Let me just open it up. Hang on. As you see, she went skincare shopping recently. My Style Vana, my Style Korean hauls, you know they're coming. This Centella Calming Gel Cream is fantastic, especially if you have redness in the skin. And you see how this one is like a complete gel? It's completely clear when you dispense it, and it's probably one of the most lightweight options. It's great for acne-prone skin, but it is still hydrating. And again, because it has the Centella, which is also known as Gotu Kola, that actually helps with a little bit of redness and hydration. So this is really good. But I would be amiss if I didn't talk about the Vegreen. These are some of my favorites. And if you are someone who wanted to try snail mucin, or you did try snail mucin and it broke you out, yeah, snail mucin can break a lot of people out, and it has been, you need to try this. This is a little bit thicker, but this is the Nail Mucin Cream. cream by Wild Yam. And this is the brand that basically creates the no snail mucin. This right here does not break out skin, but it provides such good hydration. And again, brand new. I went shopping recently. And you know that I had to restock on some of my favorites. I'm actually gonna need to get a Sharpie because whenever I open a product, I literally write the date on the package of when I opened it so that I know when it expires and when I should or should not be putting it on my face anymore. If you're using products that are 5-10 years old, you can bet growing in there because the preservatives are no longer preserving the product. That can cause breakouts. If you're using skincare from like the early 2000s or the 1990s, check yourself, okay? I don't know who needs to hear that, but someone might need to hear that. And if it's not you, you probably know someone who does. Please send this to your skincare hoarder friend. They will thank you. You are their skintellectual little angel, okay? Okay. Anyways, look at how nice this is. This is so good. And for the person who wants snail mucin, but it breaks them out and they're breakout prone already, this is one of the best solutions. I know I've just layered this over 10 different products, but this is nice, it is lightweight, and it is a K-beauty staple. However, these are kind of two peas in a pod. I actually would recommend if you wanted to try the Vegreen Nail Mucin Serum, you get one for day and one for night. Very similar, but this one is the tea tree cream. So this is the regular cream, but this is the tea tree one. And you can totally use this morning and evening if you really wanted to, or you could just use one. And again, these are brand new. So watch me open them in front of you and hope that I actually use these all up before they expire. Oh, I will. I go through moisturizer. I also use these moisturizers on my chest and on my back because guess who still gets pimples there? Yeah, oh, I got a lot of pimples on my back. Anyways, look at this beautiful texture. This is much more similar to the Iunik one in the fact that it is kind of this transparent gel and it just blends into skin so beautifully. But the difference is that the Iunik one has like 70% Centella and then 10% tea tree, whereas this one from Vegreen actually has 74% tea tree and then the other ingredients to support. So this has way more tea tree than this. But again, we're not talking about treating acne right now. We're just talking about products that you can use as moisturizers if you have acne prone skin that do not cause more breakouts for you. And I would be amiss if I didn't mention Murad. I do not recommend a Murad moisturizer for acne prone skin. I mean, I guess I could, but like none are really a slam dunk. However, we need to talk about sunscreen. I've actually done videos on sunscreens that work for oily, prone, and acne prone skin because just the way moisturizers can be so difficult to use, sunscreens can be greasy and annoying and people feel like it breaks them out. There are some K-beauty sunscreens, but this from Murad is one of the best sunscreens I've ever used. This used to be an SPF 15.
I'm sorry, who out here is using SPF 15? Not me.
They upgraded it to an SPF 45. This is an oil controlling mattifying sunscreen. And the reason I'm putting it in here is because again, it doesn't cure acne. It doesn't try to solve the problem of acne, but it works for people with acne prone skin. And this oil controlling sunscreen actually feels like a moisturizer or like a primer. This is brand new. Am I gonna use this recently? I like don't wanna open something if I'm not gonna use it. Oh, you know what? It doesn't have a sealant, I'm fine. I just don't wanna expose air to it. Look at me being responsible with my products. But look at how beautiful this is, how it soaks in so well. And look at how it literally mattifies that hand. Like that is as good as the Community 66. It's immediate mattification. Is that even a word?
I don't know, it now is.
If you are looking for a sunscreen and you have acne, this works and doubles as a sunscreen acne oil control product. So even though it's technically a sunscreen, it needs to go in here. Are you someone who needs oil control? Do you need more of a gel texture? Do you want K-beauty or something regular? I've actually listed every single product in the description as well as who I think they're best for. And as a medical esthetician, I recommend these all the time to others. As well as you can see, I use them on myself. And now that I have opened and unsealed like 5 new products, I'm gonna go put these all on my skin and work these into my routine. Remember that you can always search Cassandra Bankson and then insert product name if you want a review of that product from me. I've probably posted it on the internet. And if I haven't, you can put it in a comment and make a request there. But overall, always remember to stay hydrated, both orally and topically. Remember that acne is not your fault. We all get pimples and there are things you can do about it while still loving yourself as you try to improve your skin. Don't forget that. And most importantly, always reapply that SPF and be beautiful both inside and out. I love you and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Butter moisturizers. If you're not worried about acne, you just want to know which moisturizers are thick, triple C thick, I got you. Love you guys. Bye.